Today I'm not reviewing a new car. This is the car that every family has one, literally, and a car that I have refused to purchase despite requested repeatedly by my family members. I just do not want to fall into this trap. Yes, I see this as a trap. Ouch. This is a trap. I do not know what year this Alphard is, but this is one generation ago, okay? Now they have the new one, which is really nice. But this has been a car that I categorically, fundamentally, psychologically, philosophically hated. Okay? The Alphard and the Vellfire. The Vellfards. Okay? I hated these cars with a vengeance. These fantastic, comfortable, extremely spacious car with a vengeance. Yeah, that's why, despite being repeatedly requested to buy one, to get one, to have one in the family, I kept on refusing. Anyway, let's go pick up my kids. I believe you guys can see me. All right, let's go. Okay, this particular one that I'm driving, I'll keep the lights on before I exit the parking lot. This particular one that I'm driving is a 2.5 litre whatever gearbox it is, whatever it is. There is another variant, the 3.5 litre V6. This is the 2.5. And wait, the seat belts slapping on the B pillar, and there's nothing I can do. All right, let's do this. Sorry for that. Despite claiming how much I hated this car, wait, did I brought my phone? Did I forgot my phone? No shit. I really forgot my phone. Wait, let me cut off the video first. What the heck? Sorry for the malfunction. Sorry, the whole thing just fell off. And I've forgotten my phone, and now I need to rush. Yeah, this is a Japanese import, and every time you start the car, some Japanese woman will talk to you. So this one that I'm driving, you see, Alphards are everywhere. Maybe I should count how many Alphards I see. I think my condo alone, Alphard Vellfire, at least I would say there are 40, 50 of them. Yeah, every family has one, I notice. It's like the default car in Malaysia now. Look at that, there's Alphards and Vellfires everywhere. It's as if in Malaysia, every family, you have a television, you have a refrigerator, a washing machine, and an Alphard or a Vellfire. And of course, Wi-Fi connectivity at home. This is the prerequisite for the quintessential middle upper class family in Malaysia. And of course, now that you have a lot of Alphards and Vellfires from a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, selling at 90,000, 100,000, they are the vessels of Malaysian family transportation. And I hated them. I hated their... Okay, why do I hate them? First of all, when I take Grab or Uber, for those who are not from Malaysia or this region, when I take Grab, I will specifically try my best to end up in an Alphard or Vellfire, because I absolutely love sitting at the back in one of these, because it is just so comfortable. Okay, and I understand why my family members would, my kids specifically, would urge me to buy one. But I've been resisting, and resistance is futile, because my generous workshop, Prestige, they couldn't get my bright red family car Audi out on time for Chinese New Year, and they drove one of these for me for Chinese New Year. And I knew for a fact that if I were to be in one, if I were to have my family members in one, I would have fallen into the trap. The trap or the curse of the inevitable. I might end up buying one because it's so nice. And I hated myself even more for feeling that it's nice, because it genuinely is. It's careful. I know you guys are after crime, protecting Malaysians, but be careful. Yeah, our lovely policemen. You see, first of all, this generation Alphard is very different from that one. Look at that one. That one drives like a boat. And when you are seated in one, it feels like you are in a styrofoam cladded tissue box. That one, okay? It actually feels like that. You know, it's like a van with a lot of vanity engineered in, you know. It just feels hollow. It's just bad, but sold at a high price. And it's built from a Camry platform. I mean, now it's still built from a Camry platform. But you know what? This generation, it drives well. And every surface that you touch, sort of feels like a Lexus. The soft leather. This is so nice. Oh, this is like goat. A baby goat sacrificed itself for this. It's just so soft. It's nice. This is not the same leather as these, because Toyota knew you will touch this. If you're the driver, you put your hands here and you will run your fingers across this, and it's so plush. So soft. And the steering wheel, lovely leather as well. Yeah, it is actually this leather with less sunlight and a stiffer foam at the back, right? But it's nice. It's nice. Okay, these are not so nice. These are fake leather on the seats. The bolsters are fake leather. These are fake leather. But overall, it feels like you're in a Lexus. I know there is a Lexus version of this which is even plusher, but this one, as far as the driver compartment is concerned, is very hard to argue from the basis of visibility, because the visibility is awesome. All right, I see everything, even though I'm driving a 5-meter tissue box, but visibility is fantastic. Everything is within view. And the moment you steer the car into a corner, surprise, it corners. Despite being a 5-meter long, 8 meter high tissue box. Yes, it body rolls, but it is very well tuned. Probably the transmission is a 6-speed or 8-speed, I don't care, there's no indication. Probably there is, but it's smooth. Another Alphard. The engine and drivetrain pairing is perfect, but of course it's what Japanese does best. And it's also something that the Chinese should learn from, which is engine and drivetrain pairing in its absolute best. This is something even the French, the Italians, the British, the Germans even sometimes has not done particularly well. But the Japanese perfected this. You know, they prove something. You don't need air suspension to give a comfortable ride. You do not need a high-tech engine, transmission, yada yada, or magnetohydrological suspension or engine mounts to feel good when it drives. You just need to put more hard work and to have a very competent chief engineer that does his work. See, why every Alphard and Vellfire drivers drive them like hooligans? Because these cars actually handle, even though they are huge. It's a bit like the Jeep Wrangler, you know. You see that car and you're like, this car, but when you throw it into a corner, hey, it's tidy. Depending on what tires you have, huh? And the seating position, my God, it's comfy. Okay, this one is the absolute lowest poverty spec. This is the UNICEF spec of Alphard and Vellfires. Full manual seats. In the center is fabric, and the rear so-called captain seats are just individual seats. They are not the larger captain seats. They are also fully manual, and aside from powered doors, you don't get much luxury features. Not even the boot is the boot. No, the boot, even the boot isn't powered. Okay, so you get powered side mirrors and powered doors. That's it. All right, this is like the bare minimum spec. But I don't mind because my family don't mind. You know, I'm seated here. The air condition is cold. It's powerful, extremely powerful, and the car is comfortable. This car, in terms of its suspension, it rides very similar to my Toyota Crown, which is an actual Japanese luxury. Okay, this is a luxury car, all right, in Japan, in Asia, in everywhere. This generation, it is a luxury car. It's expensive. A van shouldn't be that expensive, but it's expensive. In China, it's even more expensive. It's sold at what, 1 million Chinese yuan. Is more expensive than the BYD Yangwang U8 SUV that can do puddle bathing, or you know, another Alphard. All right. Oh, where's my smart tag? Yeah. This car is not cheap. And it is so popular in Asia. You can go Japan, Taiwan, China, Hong Kong. This car dominated. See, Alphards everywhere, Alphards everywhere. I do not know how much sales this car actually took away from the Germans, you know, because it's the price of a highly spec 5 Series or is near a 7 Series hybrid. You know, This is the kind of price that they're selling. But of course, the one I'm driving are reconditioned used cars from Japan, which I suspect 95% of Alphards and Vellfires on the road are Japanese recon cars. Which makes me think, why Toyota Malaysia does not open a pre-owned... darling, I'm still far away. Hello, darling. Hello? Sorry? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, you don't need to call me. I'm driving. I'm on my way, okay? I need to drive safely, darling.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, where was I? I mean, Hyundai tried with the Starex. I tell you, the Starex or the Mercedes Vito doesn't even ride. It's not even 30% as good as the Alphard and Vellfire in terms of its ride. This car rides beautifully. Despite this one having a worn bearing, I can hear it. And there isn't a lot of soundproofing from the glass area. You hear the cars outside, you hear the roads and all that, you hear all that. Of course, I heard that the newer generation, the current generation, Alphard and Vellfire, they've done really good soundproofing. But this one, no, it's not. But somehow this car is just comfortable. The way it reacts to the road, the way it slows down every bump and bump, you know, is such a calm ride. And this one doesn't have a lot of power, it's a 2.5, but the pairing with the gearbox, you will see the speed just goes up like that. Effortless acceleration, meaningful acceleration, but never immediate, but it works. It does its thing. I don't need a high power jolting performance. No, that defeats the purpose of a comfortable people carrier. Okay? Somehow the formula, everything put together, everything that is not impressive, be it the gearbox or the engine or the soundproofing, you know, on its own, it is not impressive. But the way they put it together, the way they tuned it, the way they sort it out, being put together, you walk up to the car, you start the car, you roll it off, you just couldn't care about a thing. It worked. It is such... I hate myself for saying this. I hate to admit that I like it. See, another Alphard. I will name every Alphard or Vellfire that I see on this journey, on this video. It's just crazy. The proliferation of these cars on Malaysian roads are crazy. I would believe that most of the Camry Accord sales did not go to SUVs. They went to these used ones, reconditioned ones from Japan. Because how much they cost? 200,000? 200-ish. That's it. I mean, how much is a Camry now? 230,000? How much is a CRV? 220, 230? Brand new. That's why I think Toyota should just open... they have a used car division here. Yeah, your used car division should just import a shitload of Alphard and Vellfires and sell them officially in Malaysia with a 3-year warranty official from Toyota. In that way, you can capture all the business of the servicing of Alphards and Vellfires in Malaysia to your Toyota dealerships. How much money is there to be made? Crazy. Crazy. Anyway, this car is currently at 107,000 km, 654. Apart from a worn bearing from the front right that I can hear, it drives beautifully. The engine is smooth, the transmission is smooth. I think this car doesn't even come with a reverse camera because this is aftermarket. This is an aftermarket infotainment system with a camera that shows no context. That means I can't see everything else except the car behind. There are no lines, nothing, so I can't gauge where am I. But the large side mirrors, the rear view, everything, I mean, it's so easy to drive. So come back to that. Why do I hate this car? Because I'm a car guy and I want a family car that I can go for weekend drives with my friends. That means I do not want to sacrifice one precious parking lot that I have to be occupied by a sole family carrier, with which I knew for a fact, if I were to buy one of these, I will forever be confined to the front right corner of this van, because I understand the merits of these cars. And being a Uber customer, a Grab customer, a Grab premium customer, but that's another story. The reason I only stick to Grab Premium these days and hope I get an Alphard or Vellfire is just solely for the purpose of me wanting to avoid ending up in a Perodua Bezza, because that car is so horrible that every time I ride in one, I would curse at myself. I'll be much happier if all Grab, basic Grab, are Proton Sagas, because they are way more comfortable than the Bezzas, even though it's tighter behind. But at least I don't get nauseated and want to puke. Come to think of it, why is there not a single Bezza on the road for me to point at it while speaking of it? They're everywhere. They're supposed to be everywhere. There's not a single Bezza in view, in sight. Interesting. Anyway, yeah. I love being in an Alphard and Vellfire when I'm in the second row. And it's not bad to be here as well, because it steers well. There's a Bezza. It steers well, it drives well, it's comfortable, it is extremely spacious, it's so easy to get in and out. The cubby spaces are so convenient, my legs are comfortable, my back is comfortable, the aircon is cold, maintenance is low. Everything should be perfect. But if I were to buy one of these and my family get to relegate themselves to the back of this car, I will forever not be able to upgrade or downgrade or side grade to anything. Nothing beats an Alphard Vellfire when you are accustomed to the second row. Not even a Rolls Royce, not even a Bentley, not even a BMW X7, nothing can replace an Alphard Vellfire if you've bought one and your family has gotten used to the second row, or third row for that matter. That is until the Chinese. Because for some reason, for the past 10-15 years of Alphards and Vellfires eating into the sales of Mercedes E-Class, S-Class, BMW 5 Series, 7 Series, the Europeans have never ever thought of challenging this in the... maybe because they look at the ASEAN market and Asia market and they're like, nah, Europeans don't like this. The Americans, these cars wouldn't pass American crash test, yada, yada, yada. But it's different. It's different from your American Odyssey, or whatever. They refuse. And in Asia, the sales of their 5 Series, 7 Series gets pummeled by just one company, Toyota, Alphard Vellfires. Nissan did briefly try to challenge this with the... what's the name of that one? I was driving that in Japan earlier last year. I rented that Nissan something. The first generation of that was able to challenge the Alphard, But when it comes to the second generation, the Alphard grew in size and the Nissan shrunk in size, and probably from platform sharing shit, and that one just totally lose out to this one. It doesn't even drive as well as this one. Despite this one being larger, bigger, bulkier, it drives so much nicer than the one from Nissan that I do not know how to name it now. I forgot that name even though I rented the car. This one, when you go into a corner, the car sits, you know, it body rolls and sits, and then and it tracks so well, and you can accelerate through it for some reason. Of course, this one is on Michelin PS tires, PS4 I think, but I've driven a couple of them and they all drive well. It is well sorted. Unlike the one from Nissan, which is wallowy like the previous generation, this is so well sorted. And if you have the 3.5 version, my god, that one goes, man. Yeah, certainly better than the Honda Odyssey Absolute or whatever. That's a crap car, built like crap. Anyway, it's supposed to be a review, but I know why everyone buys one now, because these cars are just so good. But as a car guy, I want a family car that I can go for weekend drives. See, another Vellfire. I want a Panamera, an RS6 or whatever, but they're not as comfortable as this. They are super high maintenance compared to these. These are low maintenance AF, right? They're so nice. Yes, soundproofing is lacking. It's not a remedy you cannot solve by going to Glen Marie and another Alphard, by visiting KL Auto Desmond for some soundproofing. And now my kids, I have exposed them to the allure of darkness. I'm dead. They just want to ride in this car. Even my wife is like, oh, this car. This morning after I dropped the kids, or another Alphard or Vellfire, after I dropped the kids, I was coming back. My wife had the best sleep she ever had in the car, you know, with the extended and all that. But anyway, coming back, only the Chinese now begin to challenge the Alphard and Vellfire, right? Whether it's petrol or electric and all that. Why? Because these cars sell so well in China. And the European premium car makers of all, only Volvo has launched the EM90, which is an electric version of the Zeekr 009, but at double the price of the Zeekr 009. I do not know how much can they justify the doubling of its price, because the Zeekr 009 is built like a freaking Bentley inside. All right, and from people who have sat in the car and driven the car, they say that car rides, soundproofs like a Rolls Royce. Yep, the Zeekr 009. So the Europeans willingly gave up to this pie, this gigantic pie of a market. And the Chinese are picking them up now. And so far from what they have launched, all of them benchmark against the Alphard and Vellfire. And knowing the Chinese, they don't benchmark to match, which is what the Japanese would do. Japanese benchmark and match. The Chinese likes to go above and beyond, overcompensate. When they want to challenge a market, they overcompensate, be it in specs, in performance, in price, in safety, in everything. That's what they do. All right, and there are so many Chinese car makers coming out with competitors of these that I believe they are eating up the market share of Alphard and Vellfires. And very soon, very soon, I believe they'll come to Malaysia. Now, if they were to launch them as, there is one last vestige that the Japanese can protect themselves, which is their engine and transmission knowledge, pairing, smoothness, drivetrain, fuel efficiency and all that, which I think in an ICE, solely internal combustion engine environment, the Chinese couldn't match the Japanese. And for Malaysians, when you have the choice, we would rather go with petrol, but Peninsular Malaysia is perfect for EVs. Why? Because the market center, Kuala Lumpur, is in the middle and it's maximum 400 kilometers up north, maximum 400 kilometers down south, within the range of these type of high-end EVs. Okay, so yeah, I think I might want something like an Alphard very soon, because it's genuinely very, very nice. It is so nice. And the Zeekr 009 is fantastic. And if Volvo doesn't sell the EM90 out of China, thinking that there's no market for it all over the world, they are very, very wrong. They are very, very wrong. Volvo is not in a healthy position right now. Its platforms are too diluted across too many brands. If they were to consolidate their models, think about Lynk & Co, Zeekr, Polestar and Volvo. Imagine every single model from Lynk & Co, Polestar and Zeekr has a Volvo equivalent being sold in a Volvo showroom. That would have allowed Volvo to have a lineup that can match up to Mercedes-Benz and BMW for them to cross-shop. Currently, Volvo's biggest problem is that they do not have enough lineup. Too limited lineup and too diluted. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. I really, really would like to have something that is of this as my family car. And I hated this idea. See, Alphard. Okay, cheers. You like this car? May, you like this car? Which car should I sell to buy this car? Which car should I sell to buy this car?
I don't know.
Why you go out from there? You can come out from here. Bro. You're okay, you're fine. What happened?